Hey everyone, I wanted to hop on here quickly and continue to share and rejoice in this news that there is a strong probability that Sinwar has been eliminated. Sinwar was the orchestrator of the October 7th attack. He has been hiding like a coward in tunnels underneath Gaza, using civilians as human shields. And there's good evidence right now that's being released, including Yoav Gallant's post, the Minister of Defense. By the way, if you saw, I spoke with Gallant. It's the second time I've met him this year. I spoke with him just about a week ago at the site of the Nova massacre. But I want to read this to you from Leviticus 26. I mean, it's extraordinary. Leviticus 26. And first of all, how amazing that this, right, as Sukkot is beginning, God is giving victory. And can I say this? These are not Israel's enemies. These are the enemies of the world. These are the enemies who are calling for the destruction of America, the destruction of Europe. They are evil, evil people who are brainwashed, sadly. You know, it's tragic that they're brainwashed by this ideology. I take no delight. You know, the Bible says, take no delight when your enemy falls. It's tragic that these people have given themselves to this evil, violent, brainwashed, medieval theology. But this is the reality of theocratic Islam. This is the reality of a fascist Islam. We're not talking about moderate Muslims. Moderate Muslims suffer the most. Did you know, listen to this. Did you know that there are about 7 nations? I'll get you the exact facts on this, but there are about 7 Arab nations where it is forbidden and against the law to express any support for Hamas, Hezbollah, these other terrorist organizations. Arab nations, because these are moderate Arab nations who are trying to make their way into the 21st century. But listen to this from Leviticus 26. It's incredible. Hit the share button, folks. Hit the share button if you're not liked and subscribed. Nigeria. I'm coming to Nigeria next week. I don't know who my brother is here in Nigeria, but I'm coming to Nigeria next week. My first time to Nigeria. I can't wait to be there. But listen to Leviticus 26. God is speaking to the people of Israel. He says, observe my Sabbaths, and that includes the Hagim, that includes the Moedim, the feasts. Observe my feasts and have reverence for my sanctuary. And then he says this, I will grant peace in your land. Verse 6 of chapter 26. You will lie down and no one will make you afraid. I will remove the wild beasts from the land and the sword will not pass through your country. Now here it is. Listen to this. You will pursue your enemies and they will fall before you. 5 of you will chase 100 and 100 will chase 10,000 and your enemies will fall before you. This is the book of Leviticus prophesying the disproportionate surrounding of Israel by her enemies. And even though she's surrounded, I mean, it says right here, 5 will overtake 100, 100 will overtake 10,000. That is the disproportionate advantage that Israel's enemies have over her, right? Iran, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, all of these terrorist proxy groups spawned by Iran, and yet Israel is overtaking and, targeted strikes, taking out the main leaders one by one. Prayerfully, and intercessors, I want to speak to my intercessors. This is what we've got to pray. We've got to pray for God to raise up Anwar Sadat's, Martin Luther King Jr.'s, Nelson Mandela's. We've got to pray that among the radicalized Muslim people, there would be heroes and champions who would arise, who would realize this. The state of Israel is going nowhere. The Jewish state of Israel, the Jewish democratic state of Israel is not going anywhere. They're not going to be overthrown. The Temple Mount is not going to be a place of terror, but a place of prayer. And once those moderate Arab Muslim voices rise up, and there'll be a price to pay, just like there was for Anwar Sadat. Anwar Sadat paid with his life. But to this day, Egypt has peace with Israel. To this day, Jordan has peace with Israel. Why? Because there are courageous leaders like King Hussein and Anwar Sadat who made this peace. So we are rejoicing. Is that Felice from Jerusalem? I think it is, my friend Felice. We're rejoicing that it seems very likely that Sinwar has been eliminated. And this is, again, precisely, literally, the book of Leviticus coming to life. You will pursue your enemies, and they will fall before you. 5 will chase 100, 100 will chase 10,000. Your enemies will fall before you. Then verse 9, I will look on you with favor and make you fruitful and increase your numbers, and I will keep my covenant with you. And so this is what God is doing for Israel, for the Jewish people. I love you, Doobie. God bless you. Hit the share button, hit the like button, subscribe right now. Subscribe on YouTube. We're doing a lot more on YouTube right now, but here right in the middle of Sukkot, God is eliminating the enemies of Israel one by one, and Israel will prevail. Leviticus 26 is sure, is strong. Good morning, Mom. I love you. And so stand firm, everyone. We're going to do a full edition on this. But this is fantastic news here in the middle of Sukkot, one by one, not Israel's enemies, the enemies of humanity, the enemies of America, of Israel, of Europe, of moderate Muslim nations, of basic human rights. These are Islamo-fascist thugs. These are people who follow doctrines of extreme evil. And that's tragic because they were born in the image of God. They were born as those who have potential for good, but they've given themselves to an unbelievable brainwashing, an ideology that has to be stopped. It is an ideology that must be dealt with for the human family to live in peace. And so we're rejoicing today that God is honoring his word here in the midst of tabernacles. Hit the share button, the like button, the subscribe button, follow along, and we will see you soon. God bless.